Yan, hello guys, no? So, grabe po yung lumabas sa investigasyon ni Senator Ping Lacson. Panoorin po natin mga kaibigan, no? Grabe. So, dapat talaga itong mga ito ay makulong, no? So, panoorin po niyo ng mga kaibigan, no? Punong-puno ng mga ebidensya, no? Ito pong investigasyon ni Senator Ping Lacson, no? So, panoorin po natin. Napaka importante po nito, no, para malaman po natin, no, yung katotohanan. So, noon po natin, i-start ko na po.
Our distinguished colleague from the province of Cavite and Republic of the Philippines, other than our Senate President pro tempore, Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. Mr. President.
President Pro Temp, Senator Pampilo Lacson is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, my esteemed colleagues, I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Before I start, Mr. President, and with the indulgence of our distinguished colleagues, let me put this one issue away first. The DPWH Undersecretary that I mentioned to have offered our Senate President through his staff to make insertions in the 2026 National Expenditure Program had vehemently denied it to her new boss, Secretary Vince Dizon, and to his face at that. Was actually lying through her teeth. Dapat alam niya na hindi ako basta nagsasalita ng walang katibayan. Ayan po ang resibo, Mr. President, and I quote, para maisama ko po sa NEP, sir. Her words, not mine. Sabi nga ng mga abogado, res ipsa loquitur. The thing speaks for itself. I will now proceed, Mr. President. Exactly 3 weeks ago, I took this floor to expose what I call the flooded gates of corruption, a dam of deceit that is burst open, unleashing the tales of insatiable greed that continue to drown our nation. Simula na mabuksan ang agos ng usapan tungkol sa mga anomalya sa DPWH, bumuhos rin ang katakot-takot na ulat mula sa mga netizens at karaniwang mamamayan na nagmamatsyag sa mga substandard at ghost projects sa iba't ibang dako ng kapuluan. Kasabay ng bugso ng puot ng taong bayan laban sa iba't ibang personalidad na di umano ay sangkot sa pagsasamantala sa kaban ng bayan. Ang halos nagkakaisang sigaw ng lahat. Dapat may managot, dapat may makulong. Our frustrated countrymen cry in unison. Name, shame, and prosecute. We in this august hall share the same frustration, except for the chaos and anarchy in the streets and in some public and private properties, which hopefully will not escalate. It is but right and just that we all demand that heads must roll and those responsible must be put behind bars, whichever agency or office, even those in high towers of power, they may come from. Justice must catch up with these people because enough is enough. Having said that, my office is fully committed to submit the overwhelming loads of reports we receive on substandard and ghost flood control projects to the concerned authorities in view of the forthcoming investigation by the yet-to-be constituted independent probe body. To this end, we decided not to include the same or similar anomalous flood control projects anymore in my follow-up privilege speech today. Instead, I will focus on sharing with you the various forms of corruption in fine print. Evidence so telling that it will nail the coffin for the summary dismissal and or prosecution of these culprits with a warning that what you are about to see may be hazardous to your health in that it will make your blood boil over the maximum normal systolic and diastolic thresholds. First, how the fruits of corruption are being squandered, albeit partly by these officials. entrusted to protect people's lives and low-lying communities from the devastation caused by typhoons and low-pressure areas. And when I say partly, I do not mean paltry sums of money, Mr. President. Second, how the same officials maneuver and manipulate the processes and procedures involved to collect from unaccomplished or uncompleted, even ghost projects perpetrated by these incorrigible and probably beyond redemption government officials. Unahin po natin ang mga tinaguriang BGC boys. We delve so deeply into the web of corruption involving the culprits behind the notorious Bulacan flood control disaster. Sa lalim po ng inabot ng aming pagsisiyasat, sukdulang nakakarimarim na ang aming nadiskubre. These DPWH officials reached the lowest of the low and the highest of the high in the many corners of casinos across the country. On top of their multi-million peso wristwatches, signature clothes, and sneakers and whatever else lavish lifestyles, these 5 erstwhile DPWH officials of the Bulacan First District Engineering Office gained them a moniker, BGC Boys. Not Bonifacio Global City Boys, Mr. President, but rather the Bulacan group of contractors as they have been known to casino employees. Hindi tambay ng High Street sa BGC ang mga ito. Hell Street siguro, Mr. President. At siyempre, nagtatago sa mga aliases ang BGC Boys.
No?
Let me do a roll call.
Ang tindi.
Complete with valid identification cards like driver's licenses from the Land Transportation Office, but this is a separate matter to be investigated, my distinguished colleagues. Ang kakasibak lamang na DPWH OIC Assistant Regional Director ng Region 4A at dating District Engineer ng Bulacan na si Henry Alcantara, alias Joseph Castro Villegas. OIC District Engineer ng Bulacan, First District, Bryce Erickson G. Hernandez, alias Marvin Santos de Guzman. Assistant District Engineer, JP D. Mendoza, alias PJ Castro Asuncion. DPWH Engineer 2, RJ Dumasic, introducing himself as a contractor from Sims Trading Corporation with alias Sandro Bernardo Park at Edric San Diego as himself. They may hide their identities, but having spent practically all my law enforcement years conducting intelligence and investigative work, I know criminals when I see them. No matter how real-looking their IDs are, no matter how long they were able to thrive in the shadows, no one can shield them from the day of reckoning that they deserve. Lalong-lalo na kung lantaran at walang pakundangan na ang pagnanakaw at paglustay ng kaban ng bayan, Mr. President.
Tama.
Base sa mga dokumentong nakalap namin mula sa PAGCOR, malulula tayo sa laki ng halagang naging talo sa kasino ng 5 ito. 950 million in gross losses, Mr. President. Base ang mga ito sa official at validated na record mula mismo sa 13 kasino sa Metro Manila, Cebu at Pampanga. Halimbawa, itong si former Assistant District Engineer at OIC, District Engineer Bryce Hernandez,
Komentuhan lang natin saglit guys, no? So pinangkakasino lang nila. Milyong-milyong halaga, pinapangkasino, pinangtatalo lang sa kasino. Habang ang mga kababayan natin ay nalulubog tayo sa baha, habang marami sa mga Pilipino ay naghihirap, walang makain, ay sila pinapatalo lang nila sa kasino, yung milyong-milyong halaga. Grabe mga kaibigan, di ba? Sobra.
alias Marvin Santos de Guzman, mayroong combined gross losses sa mga kasino na 435 million pesos. Halos hindi sila nagkakalayo ng OIC Assistant District Engineer niya na si JP Mendoza alias PJ Castro Asuncion na may 418 million pesos sa nakabuwang talo sa iba't ibang mga kasino. Ang former District Engineer na si Henry Alcantara na hindi naman tumanggi na pumapasok at nagsusugal sa casino ay nakapagpatalo ng 68,000 pesos pero bilang Henry Alcantara lamang yan. Ang mas malaking bulto ng kanyang talo habang nagtatago sa kanyang alias na Joseph Castro Villegas ay tumataginting na 36.7 million pesos in gross losses. Hindi rin natin sinasantabi ang milyones na pinatalo ng mga DPW's employees na nagpapanggap na contractors na sina Project Engineer RJ Dumasig alias Sandro Bernardo Park na may gross losses na 16.9 million at Edric San Diego alias himself or as himself na may losses na 42.4 million pesos. Akala siguro ng mga ito ay maaari silang manatiling multo o incognito. Ito ay isa lamang sa tambak na pagkakamali nila, Ginoong Pangulo. Interestingly, mukhang may kakaibang milagro ang dumapo sa tropang BGC Boys sa isang kasino sa Newport World Resort sa Pasay, kung saan sila ay tumabo ng daang milyong pisong panalo mula August 31, 2023 hanggang April 4, 2024. Henry Alcantara, 4.7 million pesos. Bryce Erickson Hernandez, 189 million pesos. JP Mendoza, 320 million pesos. RJ Dumasig, 7.37 million pesos. Edric San Diego, 11.7 million pesos. Sinuwerto nga ba sabay-sabay na nanalo ang mga ito, Mr. President? O baka naman money laundering scheme? May report kami at ito ay amin pang binabalidate na peke lang ang pagdeklara nilang panalo. How so? Magpapalit ng cash into casino chips. Pero pag natalo ng kaunti, pupunta sa cashier para mag-cash out at ideklarang panalo ang pinagpalitan nilang chips. Smart? Your guess at this point is as good as mine. Sa Okada naman, may nakarecord na one gaming activity mula October 17 to 18, 2022, sina Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, RJ Dumasig at JP Mendoza na kung saan maliban kay Henry Alcantara na nanalo ng 301,000 pesos, umuwing talunan ang ibang BGC Boys dahil sa total losses na 1.75 million pesos. Mr. President, let me show you the record of cash to chips and chips to cash transactions of the BGC Boys sa mga kasino na pinasyalan nila mula taong 2023 hanggang 2025. Henry Alcantara, alias Joseph Castro Villegas. Cash to chips, 1.1 billion 428 million 170,000. Yes, Mr. President, you heard it right, my dear colleagues. B as in billion, hindi M or million. Cash to chips, 997,765,000 pesos. Bryce Hernandez, alias Marvin Santos de Guzman, cash to chips, 659,910,000 pesos. Chips to cash, 1,385,360,250 pesos. JP de Guzman, alias PJ Asuncion, cash to chips from 2023 to 2024, 26,500,000. Cash to chips, 2023 and 2024, 280,093,500 pesos. In this regard, my office has submitted their names and aliases to the Anti-Money Laundering Council since casinos are covered persons under the amended Anti-Money Laundering Act. Hindi pa po dito nagtatapos, Mr. President, ang kanilang mga kabulastugan. Sa aking naunang privilege speech noong August 20, 2025, nauna ko nang nilarawan base sa aming sources ang mag-among sina Alcantara at Hernandez na may parehong level ng pagmamahal sa pera. Itong si Bryce Hernandez, nagkalat na nga ang kanyang mga larawan sa social media dahil sa kanyang kabulastugan. Aba, hindi man lamang nahiyang pumasyal-pasyal sa isang kasino sa Metro Manila hanggang noong September 1, 2025. Habang naghihiring ang Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, si Bryce nasa isang kasino nagsusugal. Ang ibang BGC boys may record pa hanggang noong nakarambuan ng Agosto sa paglalaro sa mga kasino. Suma total, habang lubog pa rin sa tubig baha ang mga taga Bulacan dahil sa mga pangungurakot na mga ito at kahit booking na mismo ng Pangulo ang kalokohan, sige pa rin ang pagpapasasa ng BGC boys sa pagwawaldas ng pera ng taong bayan. Walang kahiya-hiya sa katawan. Wala pong konsyensya ang mga ito, Mr. President. Kung garapala ng pagwawaldas ng kaban ng bayan sa mga kasino, lalong garapala ng kanilang pagduduktor ng mga dokumento para makapagnakaw. Over the past week, we scoured hundreds of pages of documents, each page painting telltale signs of how deeply entrenched corruption has become in the BGC kingdom. Patterns emerge not by accident, but by elaborate design, a framework of rigged and questionable biddings, impossible timelines of completion, manipulated progress reports, and falsified public documents. Certainly, these are not clerical errors, Mr. President. These are fingerprints of a system perfected over the years to pocket billions of funds at the expense of our people's safety and welfare. For purposes of presentation, iisa-isahin ko na ang aming naging findings. Una sa ating listahan ng flood control structure sa bayan ng Bulacan, sa lalawigan ng Bulacan, na sakop ng notorious First District Engineering Office. Ang pondo ng flood control structure sa may Capiz, Taliptip River, Package B sa Barangay Perez ay nagkakahalaga ng 92.58 million pesos sa ilalim ng 2024 national budget. Mr. President, hindi ito basta ghost project lamang. Hindi rin ito basta-bastang substandard o palpak. This project may be added to the wonders of the world. Why? Because it will keep us wondering how in the world it was implemented at such an extraordinary speed and paid in extraordinary haste. Imagine, Mr. President, December 17, 2024, nang mai-award sa Sims Construction ang proyekto, may notice to proceed na agad ng sinundang araw o noong December 18, 2024. Matapos lamang ang 2 araw o noong December 20, naningil na agad-agad ang Sims at nagsumiti pa ng 46.05% completion rate na nagkakahalaga ng 42.63 million pesos para sa kanilang unang progress billing. 2 araw, Ginoong Pangulo, halos nangangalahati na agad sila sa accomplishment. May pambihirang talento at unusual speed pala ang mga taga-Sims Construction. O baka may magic, Christmas magic, dahil magpapasko na. Hindi man nakahabol sa Pasko, New Year pa rin ang bagong taon ng magkakasapakat na Sims Contractor at Bulacan DPWH. Dahil na-release agad noong December 27 ang unang bayad na 35.97 million sa Sims matapos bawasin ang VAT, withholding tax at retention fees. Palagay namin, Mr. President, kung kaya pa nilang kurakutin ang taxes, baka ninakaw pa rin nila. Kaya lang, inisip siguro, baka maalkapon sila. Paglipas ng 3 buwan, o noong March 14, naningil na muli ang Sims para sa 89.1% completion rate na nagkakahalaga ng 39.86 million pesos base sa kanilang second progress billing. Matapos ang 5 araw o noong March 19, bayad na agad ang Sims. Siyempre pa, mapupukaw ang aming curiosity kung anong pagkaiba ng proyekto mula noong December 24 kung saan 46% na ng proyekto ang natapos, kuno, sa loob lamang ng 2 working days. At March 25, kung saan 89% completed na ang flood control project. Tingnan po natin ang pagkakaiba. Ito po ang mga larawan na naka-attach sa first billing request dated December 20, 2024 na 46% completed daw. at second billing request dated
Grabe.
March 14, 2025. Sabi nga po nila, can you spot the difference? Wala po tayo makikitang pagkakaiba, Mr. President. Let me explain.
Ano sasabihin?
Maliban na lamang kung ang dalawang taong nakatayo noong December 2024 ay hindi umalis at hindi rin gumalaw hanggang Marso ng sumunod na taon, no-brainer ika nga, maliwanag na iisa ang larawan na ginamit at sinumite para sa dalawang progress billings ng SIMS. Trabahong tamad
Correct.
para sa trabahong gahaman, Mr. President.
Tama.
Hindi pa nagkasa rito ang handiwork ng contractor na SIMS at DPWH, my dear colleagues. Sa third and final payment, sumobra pa ang kubra ng SIMS ng 3.9 million pesos, kaya naging 14 million pesos. Kung susumahin natin, ang kabuuang siningil ng SIMS ay umabot sa 96